Hello everybody, welcome back to the Jade Empire walkthrough. We're going to first start this one off by talking to old... was it Ming? No, I literally just missed his name. My bad. He is really just going to give you all kinds... There you go, it is old Ming. So he's going to give you all kinds of information about the Jade Empire and about the Emperor and whatnot. Kind of look at him as like I don't know. He's definitely a good source of information, and it's a good. It's almost like he's one of those guys though that's like so loyal to the Empire that to the Emperor himself that it kind of blinds him. And I've noticed that in some of some games, and and actually some different movies and stuff, how the people were so, or believed that the Emperor was some sort of heavenly figure, and thus was incapable of making mistakes and whatnot. Here in Jade Empire, you'll see there's definitely people that believe that sort of thing, and Old Ming is definitely one of those. I think, again, he just really like everybody, or all the other NPCs in the game, I would definitely suggest talking to him and exploring his dialogue options, just because again, I feel like that just adds a ton more to the story. And, that's, I don't know, they did such a good job, and there's a ton of just really cool details in the game that, are pretty easily missed by rushing through. So again, I'd suggest, going through all of his different dialogue options and learning, I guess, whatever you can. He speaks Talfan, which is obviously why I'm, just doing my... basically talking over him. So yeah, I mean, there's not much else, I guess, to talk about him. I do want to talk a little bit more though about the different support styles and whatnot. So obviously everybody starts out with a Heavenly Wave, and there's some other ones like Storm Dragon and Spirit Thief, and some of them you will get just due to the story. Spirit Thief being one of those. But other ones like Storm Dragon are purchased. You definitely don't have to, but some of them are kind of cool, but I wouldn't say any of them are absolutely needed. In all honesty, you could make your way all the way through the game without using really any support styles, because again, none of them actually do any damage, but some of them are just really good. Paralyzing Palm comes to mind. That may be the most overpowered support style in the game. It can really make some, especially boss fights, just ridiculously easy. So yeah, I mean, I guess that's kind of really all I wanted to talk about with my the support style stuff. As far as Open Palm and Closed Fist, I really like the different, I guess, I don't know, I guess the kind of like outlooks, and I really don't feel like they're, and actually Smiling Mountain talks about it. He does a fairly decent job of explaining the two different, I guess, aspects of that. The cool thing, about both of them is, again, they're not necessarily it's not good versus evil. It's more like, Open Palm would be, we'll say, just helping the poor because they're not strong enough to do so, whereas a Closed Fist character would not help them in the or with the idea that if you help them, they'll just stay weak, whereas if you essentially have them help themselves or get themselves out of the said situation, they will come out stronger. So, again, it's not necessarily a good versus evil. It's more of a, it's just not quite like that. I mean, I know it's easy to see it that way, and there are definitely some choices that are like, really, but. And I won't go into too many of those, but for this playthrough, obviously, I'm going to be going Open Palm. I don't know if I'll do a closed fist. I really actually do like going closed fist. It's again, you know, with this game being such high replay
I'm
value,
so glad you and Master Lee
I think
arrived
that
when you did.
it's worth,
My father ran to the school gate to find
you know,
Steven's help.
trying.
Did he make it?
And here, this is the guy that you save his father.
Great relief. We tried our best, but without you and Master Lee,
from the
we
bandits that are
died.
in town, and then just
Thank
tell
you.
him that he's okay,
Hopefully
and that gives
Master
you
Lee
some
can shed some light on
open
what led
palm
to this.
points.
A sorcerer and our
I don't remember. I want to say though you can like let the father die and then tell this guy that his father's dead.
You're a friend of Dawn,
and that'll
Star,
get you
right?
close fist points. So.
I'm looking for her.
And that's, you know, again, I feel like that's
Dawnstar,
a
there
pretty
you are.
good
I know I haven't
example of,
spoken to
you know,
in a
a
while.
closed fist choice versus an open
I saw him
palm.
again last night,
The
and I
old
remembered
man,
what
you know,
said.
couldn't fight for himself, so if you
wasn't as
let him
afraid.
be killed by the
I'm
bandits,
glad,
well,
Mrs.
that's
Jean.
an open palm, or sorry, a closed
seemed
fist,
Peaceful, if a bit.
you know, option. And
But I know it's not your fault now.
and then it, you know, obviously it plays
I'm
out
sorry
where
for
he wasn't
disturbing
strong
you
enough
after
to
what I
defend
said
himself,
before.
so you get closed fist points, and he passes away. So. This lady here.
Her son?
This is kind of like your.
Let go.
I'd almost say like your first
I saw the
NPC
spirit
interaction
told
with
her.
Dawnstar,
She thought
where
I was calling up ghosts.
you kind of
Some spirits return
they kind of
because
talk about
trauma,
her abilities
to
a little bit,
rectify
or
something that
introduce you
disturbed them
to
in life or death.
her abilities.
They are very focused.
Obviously, you can
When the
ask
pain
her
is
a little
gone,
bit about
they
her
find
powers and
rest.
stuff
At least they are
beforehand.
supposed to.
But
Jin's spirit
this
told
is
his
this
mother
is
the
one of
accident
the
wasn't her fault. Now he
kind
wanders
of interactions.
unconnected to this world and unable to pass.
And it's kind of
the
cool.
limits.
It, you know, develops
Troubled
Dawnstar's
spirits
character a
can be
little
set
bit.
to rest for a time,
And you know,
but unless the
she
greater
explains
problem
that
is
the child
corrected,
died
it
as a
seems
result
all
of
dead are
her, what was
destined
it,
to
the
wander
mother
until they go mad.
not tying off
I'm
a
sorry.
boat well
This has
enough
been
or something, and so the
I don't
child
wanna think about
drowns.
how it affects
And then
specific
she
people.
sees the child,
I'm
and
still
you
not
know,
sure I should have told Mrs. John about her
Dawnstar
child.
tries to help her through that.
I don't know. People just want to be left alone with
So
their
here you know, there's another.
I guess blame is easier to
I think
understand
there's
than
I don't know if you can
on,
start changing
just think the
Dawnstar
students are
to
all right.
closed fist right away or
Master
not.
Lee will be
I
waiting.
really don't remember. But
Yes?
there's definitely, you know, different interactions with her that you know, like for one, what was the option there? You should have charged for the service. You know, obviously she can communicate with the spirits, so
It's a good thing we have
I mean,
Master Lee
technically
here.
that would be a and I believe some people actually do that as a profession. They claim to communicate with spirits of, you know, we'll just say dead family members in some cases, and then will charge you know, people to essentially pass the words on, yeah, I guess. Which, you know, I don't know. Anyways, Dawnstar apparently actually has that power, and you know, is legitimate, or can legitimately speak with the dead. As far as the rest of the stuff in town now, I don't think that we can really complete any side quests yet. The one I did refer to earlier with giving the villager their money back, I actually don't believe you can complete that until after.
Please do not. This is the first task I have been given, and I
after
don't want to get
you go
distracted.
in to get your amulet. So I guess I don't know. I wouldn't say that that's a huge
What do you
spoiler by
mean?
any
Some
means,
sort
but
of test? Ask me
I
anything.
guess we'll
I am
discuss
ready to
that a
try.
little bit once we actually get there.
Wait, I know this. Yes, it's weapon, martial, support, transformation, and magic. Weapon and martial styles are pretty self-explanatory. Support styles allow you to paralyze, slow, or otherwise hamper your foes. Magic styles allow you to use your chi to control the elements, while transformation styles allow you to assume the form of creatures or even demons. I'm only repeating what I have learned in my time here, senior student, but that was one of the first things I memorized. Chi is our internal magical energy. Is that it? Yes. And we can use our chi to hasten the healing process of superficial wounds. Additionally, chi can be used to strengthen our blows, making the most of each strike. I'm sure that's right. I can't channel my chi like you and Dawnstar yet, but one day. Of his history? Nothing. He is supposed to be a great master, but I just arrived, so I know very little about him. I wish I knew more, senior student, but that is all I can answer about our master. Oh, good. I mean, yes, thank you, senior student, for the chance to answer your questions. Master Li was looking to speak with you, wasn't he? After he left me here, he went back to his house in the center of the school, if you're looking for him.
All right, so CPAT doesn't give you any, huge groundbreaking information, but it's almost like a little tutorial, I suppose, on the different styles. You know, weapon, support, martial, magic, transformation.
Glad to see you're still well. By most reports, you've faced down many of those bandits yourself. Impressive, senior student. Who else? Gao the Lesser won't let a chance to glorify himself slip away. To hear Gao's side, he pushed back the bandits, but I know you dealt with the greater share of them. Of course, it was best that our master was there to deal with that sorcerer. The stories about their confrontation spread quicker than a plane's fire.
You are the hero of the moment. Gao claims that he dealt with hordes of bandits, but everyone else agrees that you turned aside their main attack. It is good that you were here. My foolish lack of attention forced Master Li to come to my rescue, and left me with a wound that will take a few weeks to heal. Master Li assures me I will heal in time. It's a shame, as Smiling Mountain was teasing me just yesterday with some special prize. Smiling Mountain trains students in group combat, and just yesterday I managed to break your record for the number of opponents faced at once. He teased me by saying if I could go one higher, he might have a prize for me. I suppose he might make the same offer to you, if you're up to it. If I could fight, he could likely round up enough opponents for you to make a run at a new record, but I can't face anyone with this wound. Unless you can speed up time, I'm not sure there's much that can be done. Master Li has already tended to it. Then again, I vaguely recall a grass or herb that hastens the healing process. Someone like Old Ming might know for sure. He's quite interested in herbs. I think so, though I can't remember the name. It was some kind of rare grass, I think. I don't think it's a common plant, no. The only person I can think of who might know for sure would be Old Ming. I'm not sure, but if you had to buy it, I'd happily pay you back for the trouble you went through. This wound will heal in time regardless, but I wouldn't complain if it knitted faster. All the quicker to return to my training. I know you're very busy, but if you happen to have time and be passing by the beach, I'd appreciate it if you would at least ask Old Ming. If I'm lucky, he might know of an herb, and if heaven smiles upon me, he'll know where to find some. If you have to buy anything, let me know what it costs and I'll pay you back happily. It would be worth it to get back to training. I haven't talked to many of the newer students. The only one I have strong opinions about is Gao. He and I have sparred many times. He's come dangerously close to injuring me, and I've seen his aggression hurt others. I've expressed my concerns to Smiling Mountain, and he wisely advises me to focus on myself. If I let my anger get the better of me, I'm no better than Gao. Master Li cares deeply for all of us, despite his stern demeanor. Look how he came to my rescue when the bandit's spell left me wounded. I've heard a rumor that the man leading the bandits seemed to know Master Li, but I really couldn't say why. It's scary to think they came here with a purpose, though. Why don't you ask Master Li? I'll answer what I can. I can only feed you answers that are common knowledge. Some of the other students might help you more. Wen is the most widely traveled here, and Lynn hasn't been able to stop talking about ghosts, which is a nice change when we're talking about everyone else. If you have questions about history or philosophy, I recommend avoiding us students. Learn about the past from those who were there. Take care. Oh, and if you happen to find anything that might help this wound after you talk to Old Ming, let me know.
It's all... They'd probably skin me alive if they heard me say this, but Wen and Lin look like they've got a little more free time right now. Go pester them so they don't pester me.
To hear Gao tell it, he single-handedly beat back the bandits. But I know you did the lion's share. Too bad I was stuck up here minding the younger students. It would have been great to see Master Li deal with that sorcerer. We so rarely see our master's true abilities in action. What do you need from me? You think I will talk about them behind their back? If you wish. Again? I had no idea. Am I interested in you defeating me again, like you so often do? Oh, of course I am. Imagine the gossip if we keep studying together. I don't know how much more you can learn from facing me, but I'm game if you are. Excellent. Let's see if we can use Smiling Mountain's sparring ground.
Leaping Tiger, Heavenly Wave. Leaping Tiger.
I heard how you faced those bandits in the village. Many people are impressed, but I expected no less. Your skill is a match for any rough bandit. Is there anything you need? Perhaps a training session with some of the students. It would do them good. Ah, yes, training. For some time now, I have... Training has worth, and Master Li allows me to collect a small fee to reinforce this. Travel outside 2 rivers and you will find my prices are quite reasonable. No, I try to improve base abilities, but through the basics that Master Li has instilled. When you have the opportunity, I'm sure you will pick up new styles quickly. Let's see what...
Oh, right. So all kinds of fun dialogue there. So this is kind of the introduction to Kia Min's side quest here with, essentially healing her. Which I would definitely recommend taking care of. I like to, for me, I like to try to do all the different side quests and whatnot. And if you do take care of all of it, you will end up with another technique, which, again, techniques are awesome, for lack of a better word. The reason being is they're a good way to almost I don't know I don't know if I'd say artificially boost your character stats, but it's another way to boost your character stats other than leveling. So again, and they're going to stay with you for the entire game, and they're not like a gem where you only get benefits when they're equipped. Once you learn a technique, it is always active. So definitely, seek out the different techniques, try to learn. Not all of them are good, and not all of them you will not be able, depending on whether you choose open palm or closed fist, you will be not able to get some of the techniques, whereas, you know, and I think going closed fist, you can technically get more techniques and thus, you know, be more powerful in that aspect. But that's not to say that going open palm makes you gimp by any means at the end of the game. You're gonna do just fine. Either way you go, it's more of a, you know, what do you like to do? And then this character here is just a little, I don't know, kind of like a, how would I describe him? Because he helps you develop Gao's character a little bit more, or Gao, maybe it's actually really more Gao the Greater. So it sounds like he owes money to Gao the Greater. Yeah, okay. So he owes money to Gao the Greater, and it doesn't sound like, or he makes it sound like he's not the kind of guy that you want to be owing money to. So there's two ways to go about this, and again, now this is, you'll get closed fist or open palm points depending on which way you choose. Obviously, if you give him money, that's how you're gonna get the open palm. And I use the intuition, depending on what your conversation skills are at, you know, that it may be a better option to go a different way, you know, intimidation if your body score is really high. And then I want to say intuition goes off of your spirit stat, but I don't remember.
Father is not a good man, angry, from what I hear.
But anyways, you know, definitely pick whichever way you want to go. If you're going closed palm, you know, you'll have to not choose the answer that I picked. And it only costs 20 silver, so not that big of a deal. Here, Old Ming, we need to talk to him about the herb to heal Kiamin. And it's pretty important, you know, that you really pay attention to what he's talking about here. Bearded Tongue is not the good kind. You know, basically it'll kill the pain, but if she fights afterwards, she'll be injured, and so that's another. This is another way to either gain open palm or closed fist. Open palm, get the red silk grass, I believe it's called, and bearded tongue if you want to go closed fist. The good thing is, I shouldn't say that. Pretty much from here on out, it's pretty common for the open palm version to really like cost you more money, and the closed fist is typically the cheaper of the options. You know, and it really goes along with the philosophy. You know, so I felt like BioWare did a really good job in that aspect, where, you know, typically the closed fist are easier, like the easier way out, and cheaper. You know, not as much of a even monetary cost to yourself. Whereas open palm is the opposite. It's typically, you know, the options require you to go through more work. And oftentimes will, you know, cost you more.
With 2 coins to rub together. Things haven't been this slow since the long drought. That master of yours keeps things ludicrously stable while merchants thrive on strife. During the long drought, prices rocketed into the sky like fireworks. I can't say that. He's a wise man who sees to the heart of things. If I were to complain about anything, it's how few students he attracts. A skilled master could bring a lot of people into this town, but he is very selective about who comes. That's his business, I'm sure, but it affects my business as well. I get by. I suppose I shouldn't wish for strife lest it come knocking on my door. Besides, the bandits didn't do as much to bring people to the store as I hoped. So maybe stability is underrated. Happily, we don't need to waste time on my gripes when there's silver to be spent. I have nothing at the moment. I can't keep my stock up. People are scared to travel, which prevents goods from getting here. I must apologize. I do what I can, but the ghosts and bandits limit travel. They viciously force many caravans to turn back. To hear some of the caravan masters talk, there are problems of this type all over the Empire. I will be sure to let you know as soon as anything comes to town. If you wish. Oh yes, I had heard that someone was injured and immediately saw the opportunity to make vast sums of... No, to make a difference, that's it. Anyway, I've checked my stocks and I only have enough ingredients to make 1 dose of the salve for a poultice. I'm not sure how much good it will do by itself. Might take a bit of the sting away. Oh, now that's thinking, isn't it? Yes, I suppose red silkgrass might be just the thing for a wound. I could add it to the poultice. Expensive stuff, that. Very pricey. Hard to acquire, too. Would certainly help her wound, but I know something just as good. Get her some bearded tongue grass and she'll feel better. It won't hasten the healing any, so she'll have to take it easy, but it will deaden the pain. If you think you can justify such opulence to heal something that time would take care of, who am I to argue? I'll just need your payment to prepare the poultice. Business has been slow. What am I supposed to do? Starve? You're right. That wouldn't be just given the circumstances. As much as I hate to do it, I can knock a few silvers off the price for you. An excellent choice. I'll mix the salve for you and prepare the poultice. It won't take a moment. There you go. Her pain will fade quickly and the binding effects of red silkgrass will make sure she can fight again, if she wants to. Your generosity is extreme, but who am I to complain? Enjoy, and I hope it makes your friend better quickly. You'd think the recent attack would have people buying supplies or weapons or something, but alas, business has not improved. Who could be more important than Master Li? He is the anchor of this town, and none question his wisdom. Two Rivers has always accepted the masters of your school as leaders, but none have taken to it with the skill, authority, or wisdom of your master. No different from anyone else. If you keep to yourself, no one bothers you. Well, you are always asking questions. That can be tiring. Although I do prefer that over Gao's posturing, he is not well liked. But his father has money, so he gets his way. You'd think... I've never set my eyes beyond the horizon you can see from here. There must be someone else you could ask. I send my thanks to the Spirit for successful journeys just like everyone else. I don't have any special insight. Why not ask your friend there? Dawn Star knows more about the spirit realm than anyone, it seems. She's been a great help from time to time.
I do what I can to help, good merchant. That's all any of us can do.
I grew up during the worst of it, but I don't remember much. Just the joy when the Emperor put an end to it. Two Rivers was almost deserted by that time, but Master Li arrived soon after, and we've had peace ever since. I don't know. That's why the Emperor is the Emperor, and I'm content to be here. I don't need to worry about it. I send my thanks to... Well, there isn't much to tell. I'm just a simple merchant trying to ply his trade in a town that resists spending money. One day the gods will recognize my suffering and elevate me to their ranks. Do come back when the weight of your silver is slowing you down. Always happy to help.
Alright, so Fendo, I actually really like him more than I did the first time I played the game. I thought that he was just a scummy merchant, but he's really not.
Thank you for helping with the bandits.
He presents himself as only, you know, really caring about money, but at the same time, he does give you the information, you know, on both sides. So, like, you know, in that example, he's like, well, you know, you could spend less money on the bearded Dungrass and, you know, it's going to deaden her pain, you know, if that's all you care about. But if you care about, you know, healing her or quicker healing, then you want to go with the red silk. You know, so he doesn't just say, hey, you need to buy the red silk because, you know, essentially he'll make more money. Alright, but here we've got some bandits, and I believe this is where we get... No, I'm sorry, this isn't the bandits. This is Gao's men, and they're angry that we... I don't know. He's angry at us. I think it's because Gao doesn't like us. Anyways, that's going to bring this one to a close. So like, comment, subscribe, whatever you guys want to do. Hope you guys are enjoying the videos, though. Hope you like the style, and hope you keep joining me for more. Alright, thanks for watching.
Leaping Tiger. Leaping Tiger. Heavenly Wave. Leaping Tiger. Heavenly Wave. Leaping Tiger.